let me say this. I say that foreign blacks, people who are black and weren't born in American soil, they come over here and take advantage of all of the wonderful things that this country provides.
Right.
But because the Democrat Party and I guess our families have taught black descendants that this is nothing. Even calling somebody an African American is disdain for your place here in America.
Absolutely.
I've never been to Africa. Out of all of my world travels, I've never been there. I don't know any family members that I'm connected to there. So it's a psychological job when I call you an African American. You don't know, but in your brain, that's doing a job on you psychologically.
It is.
It's displacing you from your
away
homeland.
from your country.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think the party has done a wonderful job at making black people angry at their heritage here in America.
Ran for
Congress, U.S. Congress.
U.S. Congress as a Republican.
Yes.
And were you a Democrat before becoming a Republican?
Yes. Actually, the very first time Obama ran, I voted for him.
Really?
Yeah. Disappointingly, yeah. I know you're disappointed in me, right?
I'm stunned.
I'm out of here. Yeah.
Did you vote for him twice or only once?
Oh, no, just once.
And what made you vote for Obama? The fallen Messiah.
I know. Well, I was a Democrat at the time. My parents were not, believe it or not, my parents were not political at all. My father was just a hard worker. He was just a truck driver, right? He'd come home smelling like diesel, and just that was his interest.
Right.
He wasn't involved in sports or anything, just working. My mother was just she was in the church and into our lives, but I didn't know about politics. But being around a black community in Mississippi, everybody was just Democrat, which is automatic.
That's why I became one too, out here.
You were a Democrat?
Out here.
I can't believe that.
Growing up in Alabama, I didn't know any Democrats. All the black people I knew were Republicans.
At what year did you become a Republican?
I moved out here 68, 69, 70.
In the 70s?
Yeah.
Mm. So I think it was like 2006, 2014.
Maybe in the 80s.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Okay. But I think it was around 2014 well, prior to that, I had this epiphany, and I began to look deeper into Obama.
Yeah.
He's a destroyer. He's a liar. And I believe he hates black people.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call him the first black American president because he's not. His father is African and his mother is Caucasian. And he didn't have a connection to the black feeling of the black America.
Yeah.
And here's another thing that what the Democrat Party does is that they take the mulatto blacks, the light-skinned blacks, and they put them in front of us because, they think that we're just attracted to light-skinned blacks. And you get people like Susan Rice, Kamala Harris, Obama, and you make them the leaders. But somebody as dark-skinned as me, they would never put me out there. And most of those mulatto so-called Democrat leaders have ties to other countries, like Jamaica. Colin Powell, his parents, he's from Jamaica, and he's half white.
We should have foreigners run our country anyway.
Exactly.
But let me ask, what's wrong with the blacks?
I don't know. I think it's hypnosis. I think it's, and I don't want to say this in a way that to belittle people. It's ignorance. When I dropped that political ad that went viral last year with the KKK, a lot of black people didn't know that the Democrat Party was the ones who were responsible for the KKK. So they was calling me all kinds of coons and N-words and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, read your history. But the problem is that on these social platforms, they're scrubbing history and rewriting it.
Yeah, they are. What a mess.
It's really dangerous what we have here.
I noticed that the blacks, but most, that they are not really innovative. They're not smart. They don't build things. Yeah. And even when the white people give them their stuff, they tear it down, they destroy it rather than make it better.
Right.
Why is that?
It's all about respect and appreciation.
But why don't they appreciate it?
Let me say this. I say that foreign blacks, people who are black and weren't born in American soil, they come over here and take advantage of all of the wonderful things that this country provides.
Right.
But because the Democrat Party and I guess our families have taught black descendants that this is nothing. Even calling somebody an African American is disdain for your place here in America.
Absolutely.
I've never been to Africa. Out of all of my world travels, I've never been there. I don't know any family members that I'm connected to there. So it's a psychological job when I call you an African American. You don't know, but in your brain, that's doing a job on you psychologically.
It is.
It's displacing you from your
away
homeland.
from your country.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think the party has done a wonderful job at making black people angry at their heritage here in America. So you don't appreciate it.
I know what you mean by that. And that's what the Democrats do. They keep the blacks on the plantation of the Democratic Party,
Right.
so that they can use them for destruction. If you notice, they don't ever use blacks for good. They always use them for destruction.
Absolutely.
And why can't the blacks say to themselves as an individual, this is wrong for me to steal and break in people's property and beat up white people? And why don't they say that as an adult, as an individual? Why don't they see that and not do it?
I don't know. I think it's based on emotion and ignorance.
Yeah.
If you tell a black kid in the hood, you tell them that a Republican is racist, that Donald Trump is racist, they're not going to do research. The emotion automatically takes over all logic.
It does.
And they just begin to just operate on emotions. It's a terrible thing. But when you try to enlighten them, like I did with my video and with my congressional run, they don't have time to listen to it.
I saw that video where you with the Klans thing. It was powerful.
Thank you.
And we're going to tell people how to see it.
Okay.
It really was. It was amazing.
Yeah. I ended up getting poisoned behind that.
Nice.
Yeah. What you mean nice? And now you want to kill me, Jesse?
You mean like really? You like?
I was poisoned. I was in the hospital for 6 days.
Really?
Yes.
How did they poison you?
Brother, I think it was something I drank.
I thought you meant they call you names. And
No. I was literally poisoned. I was airlifted to Banner Hospital. Well, actually, I drove myself at 3 o'clock in the morning to Tempe, St. Luke's, went there. I got there at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they didn't see me right away. I laid on the cold floor waiting for them to see all of the new border crossers, all of the wonderful people who crossed the border, who got priority over me.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
7 o'clock in the morning, they was lifting me off the floor, and I was drenched in sweat. My kidneys were shutting down, head was hurting, and my pulse was almost gone. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how do you know that poison?
I was poisoned.
They told
the
you that
doctors
at the
told me.
doctor?
They put police protection at my door.
And how do you know it was because of your ad?
It happened right after that. And here's the thing that was funny, is that I was being followed everywhere by I think was the FBI. For 4 days, everywhere I went. And this was close to my primary. So I was campaigning maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 places in a day. So I was all over the place. And people asked me, where did I get poisoned? And I had no idea. I couldn't even tell you, where I was most of those times, because I was really campaigning, meeting people and telling them why I'm running and all that kind of stuff.
Long story short, what does that feel like to be poisoned? What were you feeling inside?
Pain, vomiting, just sick.
Wow.
Super headache, just mostly vomiting, pain in my back. I couldn't stand up straight.
That's amazing.
Yeah, my kidneys shut down.
How long were you ill?
6 days.
Wow.
And I was weak maybe about a month after that.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad you made it through that. I thought you meant personal attacks and things like that.
Oh, no, it was really literal. Funny thing is, my opponents nobody ever even checked on me. Lots of my volunteers was outside of the hospital, but my Republican opponents, they never even, I was fighting for my life.
I believe that we now have a one-party system.
You think it's a uniparty?
I think that the Republican Party and the Democratic Party are the same now.
Yeah.
And because I noticed with the Republican, they get nothing done. And when Donald Trump was in office, they worked against him.
Yes, they did.
And not with him.
Yeah.
So why should we vote for the Republican Party knowing that we're a one-party system now? We don't have a two-party.
I love our policies. Our platform is immaculate. It's wonderful. It's great for the American people. It's great for stimulus. It's great for the economy. It's great for families. Having the heart of the fathers come back to the families.
But they're not doing it.
If we could get some people in office who would stick to the policies of the Republic, then we would have a great America.
Right.
But when Trump was in office, we had the House and the Senate. If he didn't have those turncoats and those corrupt leaders in the Republican Party, America would have been so much established.
Absolutely.
We would have made up stuff within 20 years.
So I got so much I want to ask you, but let me ask you this. Knowing that I know that black people don't do anything, they don't make anything better. Even the black Republican, you know that guy Tim Scott?
Tim Scott,
He ain't no good.
he haven't done anything.
He's a writer.
Well, to me, I look at his record, and I haven't seen anything. I haven't
So
seen
why
anything.
should I vote for a black person, whether they're Republican or not, knowing that they ain't gonna do nothing?
I don't want anybody to vote for me based on my skin color. I want people to listen to the content of my character. I want you to listen to my policies. If my policies are going to enhance your life and make you better, if you fit into the strategy of my policies, where traditional families, secured borders, protecting children, and protecting our freedom, well, if that's not for you, well, then don't vote for me just because I'm a black person. Vote for me based on the policies.
But once you get in there, how are you going to be able to stand up to the women, Republican women?
Jesse, there you go. Oh, I love this guy. I love Jesse a lot.
and the party that's going to be against you. And especially with the women, because most men can't stand up to women, right? How will you be able to do that when you think that a woman can lead?
Well, I'm not led by a woman's skirt or her power to lead. I'm led by the Constitution. What's great for the American people? And if that bill is not for the American people, if they want me to send money to Ukraine and to Israel and all these different places, no. I believe in America first. Our people are struggling here. We have people on the street.
They don't even take care of home.
They don't. It's the most upsetting thing I've ever seen. So no woman or man or anybody else is going to get me to vote against the American people.